Welcome to the Road to a Millie. This is a good one today. People are excited about this one. Usually the waiting room has like 3 or 4 people in it a day. It's already 20 people in here. So you guys must have caught the message. You guys must have caught the sniff that there was a recurring client trick in the air. There was a hack. There was a secret that's going to be revealed today. That's going to change your life. I'm saying all that so I don't forget to tell you guys. But there is something that we've been doing that is quite literally the opposite of what I've told my team to do. And so there's a quote that I actually heard the first time ever from Alex, and something that I'm always aware of is that like we question all of our beliefs except for the ones that we truly believe. And like it's just like one of those reminders of like I'm not that, and I'm usually not that right. And and my internet is now going wonky. Is my internet wonky, Katie?
Yeah, you're lagging a little bit.
Nice. Perfect. Internet guy, so fun. And yeah, so we'll be talking about that today, and maybe we won't be talking about it. Maybe I'm just gonna like freeze out, and you guys will be left without knowing this thing that we're gonna do. So if that happens, sorry about it. So hang on tight. But that's what we're gonna talk about today. So appreciate you guys for hopping on here today, and hopefully the internet is it works good today. We actually had an internet guy here, and he solved one problem, but I think by solving one problem, I think we created a second problem. And the irony in that is that's exactly what business is he came over here because our internet speeds were low. And then he said, I can get you a faster internet speed, but I have to put your router on the other end of the house, which I was like, okay, that's fine. I didn't even think about it actually not being able to reach my office. But the internet speed is really fast, but now on my side of the house, it's so far away that now my connection to the actual router is really low. So welcome to solving problems in business. Like, and you don't even know. It's like, okay, which one is for sure? Like he's like, it will for sure increase your speed if you move it over here. I was like, let's do the for sure thing. Yeah, for surely made my internet worse actually. So, but I think that's what business is like you don't know until you know. You don't know until you make the mistake. You don't know until you have the problem in front of you. Then you're like, now I got to solve this problem again. I got to figure out how to solve it again. And the only way we are actually able to solve it is by staying in solution mode rather than complaining about the dang problem. One of the coolest things that just makes me like so happy is the ability for me to look at my 6-year-old, her name is Lainey, and for her to be able to live in the same household as Katie and I, really, really cool. But for her to be able to see Katie and I work in the same household, even cooler. And some of you guys know this, but if you don't know this, like she's homeschooled. So she's in our household all day long as well. And if you guys notice though, she's not with Katie or with me. We actually have a teacher. So we have a teacher who comes over here. She's here from like 9 to 4 every single day. And she teaches her. But Lainey gets to observe Katie and I in our environment, and she's just around us. Like her influences are us. And so we just moved into a new neighborhood, and Lainey has found friends in this neighborhood. And so her friends they're all older than she is. So she's 6 and they're like 9 and 10 years old. But these are the people who she's hanging out with. These kids are the kids who she's hanging out with. And to hear her talk about her observations in these kids was like so cool. So she's got one friend, her name is Ella. Literally like she's our backyard neighbor. Like we share backyards with them. And Katie, what are your thoughts on Ella? Tell me your thoughts about Ella.
Ella runs the show at her own house. So she tries to run the show at our house.
Yeah. It's so funny. And so Ella has, yeah, she's just causes a little bit of trouble. She's a drama causer. Just put it that way. And one of the observations that Lainey made, again, this is unprompted. She's like, and Katie, I mean, I guess you tell this story because she told you this, but when she talked about the problems versus solutions, what did she say? Because I thought this was like one of those like proud moments, proud dad, proud coach moments, just proud like proud that we're able to influence a human being to this extent.
It was really cool because our next door neighbor is a boy, and she compares the two of them a lot together. And she says, you know, Mom, Hanson has solutions. Like he even sometimes lets me be the leader in our games, even though Hanson's also 10 years old. And she said, Ella, she never really has solutions. She always only has problems. It was awesome. Even Hanson has solutions, but Ella doesn't have solutions. She's really only got problems.
Yeah. And so the reason that made me really proud is because like we talk about this stuff all the time. We talk about the difference between people who are successful versus people who are not successful. And the people who are successful, they're always looking for solutions. They're always talking about solutions. The people who are not successful in life, they always have problems. They always are looking at their problems and wondering, and like, why do I have this problem? It can't be me. It's got to be somebody else. Someone else solve this problem for me. Or they complain about their problems. They bitch about the problems. They problems. They problems just consume their life. And so for everyone in here, you got problems. Maybe you got internet problems. Maybe you got employee problems. Maybe you got spouse problems. Maybe you got weight problems. Deal with it with a solution, not with by complaining about it or believing that you are special. I can't fix my internet because I'm too busy, right? The employees in my market are they just don't, no one wants to work hard, right? I'm just big boned. I don't lose weight. It's my body. It's different, right? Find solutions. There is a solution. And that's the difference between people who are able to grow $1 million businesses and the ones who get stuck. They get stuck around $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month or $30,000 a month. They make excuses. I can't see good. It's the reason why I can't run a business. I can't hear good. I don't think well, right? Whatever the personal things that you have had in your past that you believe are stopping you are actually the things that give you the opportunity for you to grow upon, and they could be an asset if you choose for them to be an asset. Your biggest problems are opportunities for it to become your assets and your assets alone. And until you believe that, until you start acting on it, you will stay exactly where you're at. This is one of the biggest things that we talked about when we did our group deck in a day. So we had a group deck in a day where I think Lucas is on here right now. He came out and four other cleaning businesses. And we talked a lot about aligning our stories with our goals. How many of you guys have goals in here? Anybody have goals? Anybody have big goals? Cool. How many of you guys actions are aligned with your goals? Like fully aligned. Like everything you do in your life from when you wake up to when you go to bed is aligned with you hitting your goals. Now, let me just put this in perspective because I think this is important. You don't just have one goal in life. Like your only goal in life is not to create $1 million business. If it is, I mean, you can have more than just that goal. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Like you can have more than just one goal. Okay. You can also have a goal. You can have more than one goal. Let me just put it that way before I get too far off track. And so do your behaviors on a daily basis, do they align? To what degree do they align? Maybe that's a better question. To what degree do they align with your goals? Because like, yeah, like you work in your business, but like you're cleaning in the field. Like that doesn't help you get to $1 million business. So if you're cleaning in the field, you're not going to get to $1 million business very, very fast. So yes, you're working towards your goals, but in a very, very slow manner. So you know what help you get to your goals faster? By hiring somebody else, and then you learning on the skill sets to market, to get new clients, to be able to fill your new cleaner schedules. That would be a little bit more in alignment with your goals of building into our business. What if you have a goal to be healthier, right? Well, the first step you have to be, what is define healthy? Well, maybe I just want to like lose a bit of weight, right? I just want to have more energy. I want to be able to like look at myself in the mirror and like not be fat, right? Like I just want to be less fat today than I was yesterday. What are you going to do about it? Are you gonna just do what you have been doing up to this point? Like go eat the easiest thing? Or are you gonna be like, maybe I'll just eat something that is aligned with my goals? And you can start to have these decision filters of like, are your actions actually aligning with your goals? And That is one of the things that we talked about at the group deck in a day is the more aligned that your actions are with your goals, the faster and the high probability are going to reach your goals. Now, the reason that your actions wouldn't be aligned with your goals is that you tell yourself a story that they cannot be. I don't have time to cook food in order to be healthy. I don't have time to learn marketing and sales. I'm not in the field cleaning. I don't have enough money to be able to hire somebody. Like, these are just stories that you tell yourself that, by the way, they are true. They're a story that's true in order for you to stay exactly where you are right now. You will for sure not grow your business by telling yourself that story. You could also tell yourself another story that, you know what? It'll be difficult, but I'll find time to be able to learn how to market, sell, to be able to fill my new cleaner schedules, and the money, I'll figure it out. I'll stop spending as much money over here and I'll find more money over here. Maybe I'll go to the bank and get a loan, or I'll get a credit card, or I'll just hustle harder. I'll just do more. I'll be more efficient with my money. Stories that you tell yourself, are they in alignment? Because the stories you tell yourself are going to be a direct reflection of your behaviors, and those behaviors are actually going to determine whether you get to your goals or not. And so I can tell what somebody thinks, or I can tell what I have a good idea of what people think, or the clarity or lack of clarity they have on their goals based on their behaviors. And I can also tell you, based on your behaviors, how quickly or how realistically you can actually get to your goals. So without further ado, today let's dive in. And my bandwidth is low, is what it says. Am I laggy, Katie?
No, you've been doing fine.
Well, I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to see if we can stay away from the lag here. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So this is week number 70, Mesa 5-star cleaning. So 70 weeks ago, Mesa 5-star cleaning was just a dream. It was just a dream, just an idea. It was actually just a nightmare. I really don't want to start this business. I pushed my feet in the ground very, very hard for 6 months before we started this business. And it took Katie and it took Dr. Kashi. It took lots of meetings for me to accept the fact that I needed to start this location. But we did. We started 70 weeks ago, and I'm so grateful for it. It's like the things that we resist the most are the things that are going to improve us the most. So another one of those realizations I have. The things I always try to fight the most are the things that always are the ones that grow me the most, that make me so appreciative and so thankful for. So week number 70, projected monthly revenue, 56,535. Last 30 days revenue, 77,000. That's pretty cool. What's the rate for $1 million clean business, guys? What is it?
83,333.
Yeah, so we're closing in on that. It's kind of cool. Next 30 days revenue, 48,000. So that's increasing. Cool to see. Trailing 12 months revenue. Look at that. We're knocking on the door of 700,000, 697,000. So by next week, this business will have done $700,000 in the last 12 months. So that's pretty cool. From $0 to $700,000. Yeah, something's there, guys. There's something there. Current monthly revenue, 26,000. Weekly revenue, 16,337. So that's pretty cool. That's a good week. Total recurring clients, 161. So I'm going to show you guys this right here. So 4 weeks ago, 152, then 149, 157, 157, 161. And as we get to the bottom, I'm going to show you something pretty crazy. This is our PR that we've got for recurring clients. And you guys don't get to see our first location normally, but this week on Friday, we're doing Road to 300K. So I would recommend putting that in your calendars right now. If you guys go to your school calendars, I would add that event to your calendar, because this week we're going over Bozeman, our Bozeman location, and you'll see that recurring number is flying. But I have something special for you guys for Bozeman. Is going to be a game changer for recurring clients. but it's actually not going to show up in this recurring client number. Yeah, yeah. Katie just said in the chat, it'll break your beliefs. So just give them a preview, Katie. You can pick one day last week. I don't care what day it was. Maybe it was like Tuesday or Wednesday, but like how many sales did you see from Bozeman in one day?
Over 50 in one day.
Yeah. Don't even tell them, actually. Don't even tell them. Don't even tell them. So it'll break your guys' beliefs. And it's something that neither Katie and I made up. It's something that one of our office staff made up. And the person you guys know the most, Alaya, she's the one who made it up because she's smart, she's intelligent, and she acts like an owner. And that's why we're very appreciative of her. So if you guys want to get on that call on Friday, I highly recommend it. Plus, you guys will get your beliefs broken around. You know, if you guys want to see a business that's on doing a $2 million run rate, so like doing double what you guys want to do, like that's also a good call to get on. So highly recommend getting on that call on Friday. Weekly recurring clients 161. I will share this process with you once we get down to the recurring client section on the sheet. 67 cleans last week, pretty good. 244, pretty good as well. Cleaners 13. You guys can see that we are definitely up and down, up and down. This week's actually going to be down again. But look at the cleaning hours. Cleaning hours is up. So the cool thing about having less cleaners is, but we're also able to fill their schedules. We have room to fill their schedules. So this has actually been a big area of focus for us, is maximizing our current cleaner schedules as well. So we have a little bit more flex in the number of cleaners. Weekly revenue, again, 16,000. The breakdown of the weekly revenue: $7,000 initial clean revenue, and then 8,500 reoccurring. So reoccurring still our issue for predictably hitting $1 million weeks and also $1 million months, and actually growing this business to a consistent $1 million a year. So that'd be the thing that we continue to focus on. And one of the things that we tried that we got a ton of traction on, that all you guys can do after in this phone call, I'll share with you guys down below, and how I think we got 12 recurring clients this week. They are coming in like crazy. And I gave this to one of my one-on-one coaching clients last week, and I think she added like 13 or 14 recurring clients to hers as well. And yeah, it's nutty. It's nutty. It's actually really simple. And you guys won't have to do anything extra outside of say these words.
Actually do less.
Bigger business. Yeah. You actually will say less words. It's actually really cool. Yeah. No, Anna Harris, your 16 sales are not piddly at all. It's just now, if you can make 16 sales the old school way, so now I'm going back to referencing Katie's reference how, and like there was just one day in Bozeman last week we had 50 sales. There was a couple days that were like just as much as well. If you can do it the old way where you can make 15 to 20 sales a week, the new way, you're going to crush. You're going to freaking crush it. So again, like don't think about this as like, oh, like I gotta like the skill stack. That's what I'm saying. Skill stack. And so like everybody wants to be a bazillionaire, but you ain't even a freaking 100,000-aire yet. Right? Like skill stack. Like people want to be a millionaire. You're not even a millionaire yet. Shut up. Like just be a millionaire first, and then do it twice. Then be a 2 times millionaire. Stop trying to be a freaking gazillionaire. Like one step at a time. You don't even have $10,000 in the bank yet. Get $10,000 in the bank, and then get $100,000 in the bank, right? And then get $200,000 in the bank. Like, do these steps. Okay. So, 16 sales in a week is insane. Great freaking job. Once you get 16 sales, now you're gonna know how to get your. Then you'll be prepared on like you'll believe that you could actually get 25 sales in a week, 30 sales in a week, 50 sales in a week. Like, again, if you guys have been paying attention to this, to like watching us, like. We have weeks where we do 70 sales in a week. 70, 60, 50 is now like the new norm for us in a week. And so now having 50 in a day was like, yes, it's a big increase, but like we were doing 50 in a week. So it's all relative. So you want to just get better, because as you get better, your standards get higher. And as your standards gets higher, then what you believe is possible just goes up. That's all it is. That's all it is. So the goal is for you guys just to get better, because all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're like, wow, what you used to think was a lot of money or unbelievable is your reality. And that's one of the biggest benefits that you guys can get from like being on these calls, being inside the coaching community, like seeing what is possible inside your business is just a breaks beliefs on what is possible. because left to your own little tiny little your little brain that is like lives in your own little small town that you'll have only been around people who have got no money, then it's like, this is crazy. Like, I just made $1 million. I'm rich, right? And then you get around somebody who makes $1 million in a month. And you're like, shit, not rich. And then you get around somebody who's making $1 million in net income, net in a month. And you're like, yeah, I'm poor. So uh yeah, exactly. When Grant Cardone talked about uh, to Jamil's like, I remember I was making $750,000 a month. It's like I was poor. You know, I was like, I feel bad for you, son. Yeah, it's like you want those people in your life. You want the people in there who break your beliefs. And so Kitty and I had a conversation the other night uh, at bedtime. Usually I'm talking and Katie's like trying to fall asleep. I'm like trying to slap her, metaphorically slapping her. Like, hey, wake up! Like I got ideas. Let me share the ideas. And I was just like talking about like how we're growing really slow. I'm like, I just feel like we're not like or not. I didn't say we're growing slow. I said that I just feel like we're right on the cusp of like this verge of like explosive growth. And she's like, "Do you not think we're growing very fast?" And I was like, "Or what did you ask me, Katie? Did you say compared to what? I like where did that come from? I can't remember the exact question you asked
Yeah,
me.
I just asked. I said, well, does that mean that we're growing slowly right now?
Yeah, I was like, well, I guess it's just a comparison. And I think then you asked me like, who do you compare yourself to or something, right? So,
Yeah.
like that too. Yeah. So I was like, well, honestly, like my comparison is always Gym Launch because like I got to be I was part of the client experience of Gym Launch, but I also worked for Gym Launch, so I got to see both sides of it. And so like I use that as like the marker of what's possible. And Gym Launch went from zero to $40 million a year in like a couple years. So like I got to just like be a part of it and see it. So I'm like I always use that as like my metric of growth. And I'm like, okay, so like everything I think about is like, how do I get to that growth? So I try to like try to reverse engineer all the variables, mechanics, and like it's very difficult. It's very challenging. But I think one of the things I realized too is that like my journey inside the Gym Launch story wasn't at the beginning. It was the beginning to me, but it wasn't the beginning. So like there was like 3 or 4 years before that happened, and plus all the years before that that Alex had been doing stuff that he was learning skills, that he was getting himself in a situation where he could actually not only just handle that growth, but he could he could maximize it. And so I think it's important for everyone here to understand too that like we're all in different places in our journeys, and like there is so many variables, there is so much skill, there is so many things you have to learn that you have to piece. There's so many things you have to learn that have to stack together in order for you to actually have explosive growth and whatever that means. Yeah, just so like, but your life, what you're willing to accomplish is going to be a direct reflection of who you compare yourself to. And so my goal, full transparency, is for you guys to compare yourself to us, to give you something that you can compare yourself to as a way of like, this is what is possible. Now, compare yourself to what is possible, but like, again, and that's why I try to share my story as much as possible. Like, understand that like, there's skills that I have that you don't have. There's spent that I have done that you have not. There's resources that I have access to at this very moment that it took me 12 years to get access to. And so at the same time, I also want you to let you elicit a correct expectation that although it's possible, there is a lot of work that needs to get done along the way. There's a lot of sacrifice. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of conversations that you have to have with important people around you that no one that will not show up in your income column. They will not show up on the stat sheet. Some of you guys don't realize this. Like, Kate and I did not live in Arizona 2 years ago. Like, we made a decision to move our entire family to a different state, to be able to put ourselves in a different situation, to be able to have something like this happen. Like, that alone, people will just be like, nah, I would never leave my hometown. And by the way, do you guys think it was easy for Katie and our kids to move away from their hometown as well? Like, I'll just give you one example. Okay? So, like, those are things that get discounted because you guys didn't see the conversations. You didn't see the crying. You didn't get to see our oldest daughter running away. You didn't see that shit. Like, there is a lot of sacrifice that happens. But that sacrifice now is what allows you guys to be able to see us grow a freaking business to $700,000 in 1 year. Like, that is what had to happen. And that's just one of the little things. And so that is the value of this call. As you guys can see what's actually possible. All right, let's keep going here. Invoices, less than 7 days, $5,800. Greater than 7 days, 720. So yeah, this is a number that we want to keep definitely below 1,000. We have a new VA as of last week, and that's one of her jobs is to be able to keep this down. And so Katie's been doing a great job of coaching the VA and yeah, helping her learn all of our systems, which is a nice part about having a good system, is that it's much easier to teach somebody brand new if you have systems and you have videos and you have SOPs. Like, you know, as much as it's helpful for you guys to have access to the system, like we use the system as well, right? So,
Or
Katie,
you
great
quickly
job.
realize that the system is outdated and you need an updated video.
Exactly. Exactly. And so that's what Katie's been doing. She's also been updating these videos as well. And you guys will also be the beneficiaries of us updating the system because we'll put it into the coaching program, and you guys get the updated version as well. So that's like the reality of a system is that it's almost like your iOS operating system. Like it's only good for a couple months and then it's got to get updated. And so that's how business is always going to be. It's always going to be good for a couple months, and then as we get more information, as we get more feedback, we update the system, and that's how it gets better. So, great job, Katie. Corrections, we had $374. Internal marketing, we send messages on the 7th, 8th, and 9th. This is also another updated system that we'll eventually share with you guys, but we're actually doing campaigns. So I actually shared this with a couple of my one-on-one coaching clients on a way to make this whole process of sending text messages just one step easier. So you don't have to be reminded to send follow-up messages. And you actually can send more than just a follow-up message. You can send 3 messages. And so it's cool that as we make this system better, we just make it easier for you guys to be able to fill your cleaner schedules. That's really what it comes down to. So we sent 3 messages last week. Yeah, we were able to fill some schedules. External marketing. So this is where we spend money on. We spent money on Google local services. We spent money on Facebook. So we altogether spent $1,885. We got 67 leads through Facebook, 1 through Messenger, 16 missed calls, 6 Google local services, 7 homepage, 7 incoming call leads. So we got 104 total leads last week for a total cost of $18.13. So yeah, one of the reasons we've been able to grow so fast is because we got a good marketing system. Like we know how to get leads. But the reason that we're able to stay in business is we also know how to convert leads. And so last week we only had 7 spots that were unfilled. We have 27 spots currently that are open. Keziah was actually out on Thursday, Friday, so she took vacation, and then BJ was left to hold down the fort in the office, and Aliyah helped out a little bit here. But really, we also onboarded a brand new office person. So BJ is this is going to be his last week with us. And then we have one of our cleaners, her name is Sadie. She actually elevated to the office. And so Katie was training her last week. So you guys will start to see Sadie's name in here probably next week, but we have a new office person that's actually local here to Arizona. So BJ's been in Montana. And so now we're actually going to have another local office person. So we'll have 2 office people here in our Mesa location. And then Aliyah will still continue to help out. But we had 50 calls answered, 30 calls missed. We had 34 quotes scheduled, 22 showed, 55 quotes performed. We closed 37 of them. So yeah, for a total of $11,000 of initial clean or of quote call revenue. So it's not bad. 6-1 on our money. And look at this, guys. This is what I'm talking about right here. We had 12 conversions, 8 from Keziah, again, only on 3 days as well. And then BJ and Aliyah both had 2 as well. So we hit 12, which, by the way, was the best we've ever done. And so, Katie, you tell them, because I can't do it. My ego cannot handle it. I'm so insecure that I cannot share the mistake I made. And so instead, I'm just going to hide, or maybe I'll get mad, or maybe I'll just let you talk about what we did differently.
Yeah, so we truly believed for a very long time that we were doing our clients a better service by only allowing them to book a first-time clean on the initial call. And then we started going back in time, looking at Bozeman's growth about a year and a half ago. That was massive as well. And Aliyah we asked Elia and we were like, what were you doing during that time? How did we get so many, new clients, new recurring clients? And she said, you guys, I just didn't have enough time to follow up with everybody. So I just allowed them to book recurring on the first call. And then Logan asked her, why did you stop? And Elia said, you told me to. And he's like, don't listen to that again. So we started offering recurring opportunities on the first call with people who we weren't necessarily overselling the recurring as the opportunity, but if they ever wanted recurring, we just put them right on recurring starting last week, and it worked.
Yeah. And so we're still working on all the kinks. And then I told the same thing to one of the one-on-one coaching clients who I coach as well. And again, I told you I think she got 12 or 13 last week as well. And so I'm hesitant to give you guys any frameworks beyond that, just like offering it, because like she's like, well, here's what I did. And I was like, that's a really good idea. And so for all you guys who have the courage to implement without knowing exactly what to do, just do it. Because I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to ask my team questions. And then from there, I'll be able to gather some similarities and gather a process that can be consistent. But at the end of the day, like if you're just offering reoccurring on the first call, the probability of you getting it it's higher. That's all. But one thing that I will give you is that offering incentive to book reoccurring on that first call is highly recommended. And so an example of that would be, this is actually part of the script. What has you interested in the cleaning today? They're like, well, yada, yada, yada. And they're either going to say, I'm looking for just a one-time clean or, potentially looking at more recurring options. Okay, cool. So then at that point, you're listening, you're paying attention. And then when you get to the end of or towards the close of the call, you're going to offer them the one-time clean. And then you're going to be like, hey, and just to make you aware, like you said you were interested in recurring, correct? Cool. And so if you actually get on recurring today, I can actually your first clean right now. And honestly, you can always cancel the recurrings anytime you want. So like, what do you think about that? And that's it. Like you just like no risk. So when it comes to making it more valuable for your clients, again, this is something I learned from Alex as well. Like there's ways to make your service more valuable, and one of those ways is to make it risk-free. Like make it risk-free. So if you just got a recurring today, I can give you 10% off your first claim. So that's an offer. But then also, if they ask the question, well, what does it take to cancel? It's like you can cancel anytime. And so that's how I recommend every single person start right now. Until we have a better process, until it's more finely tuned, that's it. It's very, very simple. Now, I'll tell you guys the long-term methodology of this because I feel like it's important for you guys to understand also long-term. Like there's different seasons of business. Okay, there's different seasons of business, and so you guys have to understand that there's more than just making money today. There's making money tomorrow is the most important money. And so money tomorrow will be that in the very beginning you make it as easy as possible for people to say yes, and then all of a sudden when you have so many people, you start to slowly make it a little bit more resistant. You start to add a little bit more resistance. Okay, until you find that sweet spot of easy and hard, right? And you don't want to be super easy and you want to be super hard. You actually want it somewhere in the middle, but you don't know where that middle is until you go to one extreme or the other. And so we did it the hard way. No, you cannot get reoccurring. We saw that didn't work very well. So now we're going to go to the other end of the spectrum. You can get reoccurring and you get a discount and cancel anytime. So like, just sign up. There's no reason for you not to. Like, I would highly recommend signing up for you today. Like, my bosses, I think they're crazy. And you would be crazy not to be able to take this offer. That's what I recommend you guys say. And then eventually, you'll be like, well, people are taking advantage of it. They're doing this, they're doing this, they're doing this. And they're like, okay, now we can slowly pull it back. We'll find the next thing to make it just a little bit harder, but people still say yes. Okay? So that's how you can increase your conversions. And the biggest mistake that we realized that was happening was that we would do the first clean, we would do a good job, and then no one would even like get on a phone call. No one would even offer recurring, and the person just sat there and they just died in our booked initial clean pipeline stage, and they would eventually go to not converted yet, and then they would just die, right?
It was so painful to watch.
Yeah, Kitty, was helping our new office girl today, and she was like, again, now we're creating a system to make sure this doesn't happen. So even when we're doing this, we're still going to we still follow up with the conversions, right? It doesn't mean we don't follow up with them. We still do the calls. We still do the process. Now we just do this additionally. We also offered additionally. And Katie, what did you say? This was it yesterday or today? I can't remember what you talked about when you're like, this person didn't get contacted.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't get contacted. So I now have our virtual assistant following up via text message after every single clean. And doesn't matter if they're recurring or not. We say, how did your clean go? And then I'm teaching our new office gal to, if they say well, and it was or great or okay, or they respond at all, we're going to pitch recurring via a text message.
Yeah.
And then if that doesn't work, then we're going to follow up with a phone call later that day.
Yeah. And then if you guys have the question of, well, how much is the recurring going to be? This was another thing that we also like, the reason why we held the price back is like, we didn't want to set a proper expectation. And so the reality is that we're going to miss some, and we just have to come back and like, hey, like we actually need to change this rate. And that's okay. Like I'd rather say, because again, at the end of the day, their default, they're on reoccurring, and we tell them the price is $200 and we realize that it's going to be $250. So it's like, hey, just so you know that after doing the first clean, we actually, our recurring price is going to be $250. I don't know if you're okay with that, right?
Yeah, our newest office gal has zero sales training. She hasn't even been through our sales school, and she booked a recurring off of a text message last week because she just offered it.
Yeah, yeah, which is another thing that I was always like a no against as well. And this is actually something I got from Kayla Irby. So Kayla Irby is someone who I work with one-on-one every single week, and like she's got the most recurring clients out of anybody I coach. I've literally watched her go from under like I think she was like low 200s, so now she's well over 300. Like 320, 330 recurring clients. And yeah, they do a lot of text messaging with recurring clients. So it's definitely something that we are also adding in as well. So again, like we're just making as many offers as possible. And I think what I've discovered in business is the more offers you can make, the higher probability you are to get a customer to say yes. Even so much so that, like I told you guys earlier on this call, we were having internet problems. So Katie was messaging the internet company on Sunday via a chat support, and the chat support guy, as he's trying to like set up
You're cutting out, Logan.
oh,
You're back.
am I back now?
Yeah.
Dang it. Yeah. And speaking of internet, how ironic the internet went out during that whole thing. And so, Katie, will you actually get on the web page or the chat with the internet guy again, or with and tell him to come back, and they got to fix our stuff again.
Yes.
Oh, the irony is so funny. But anyway, this chat support person is pitching us. I even said like I even told him no because like Katie was driving at this point, so I was like, I took over the chat and I was like, no, I don't want to hear any offers. And he sent me the offer anyway. I was like, great. He's still sending offers. And so at the end of the day, guys, like your job is to send offers, create offers, find ways to get clients to potentially say yes. Ideally, they're on phone calls. If you can't do it on a phone call, send them a text message. Ideally, do it on the first call for the second call. Like just find a way to just pitch more people. Give them an opportunity to use their service. That's the best thing I can tell you guys. Give people an opportunity to use your service. And the only way you're going to give them opportunities is if you ask. Ask. Okay. So conversions. So to make it really, really concise, offer recurring on the first initial clean, as long as they're interested, and then give them a discount on their first clean if they sign up for recurring today. That's how you do it. What you do in between, have the courage to just roll with it and figure it out and just go with the flow and solve the person's problem. Okay. I'm telling you guys, if you guys ask, there's a high probability that people will just say yes. And you make them an irresistible offer. Like you guys see the Google reviews? You guys see these Google reviews? Like all you guys who use the Google reviews, you're like, yeah, it makes sense. The client gets 10% off, the cleaner gets $10. They're both highly incentivized to do it. That's why we have almost 600 Google reviews, and the business has been around for 15 months. Like insane. Good offer. This, my friends, is a good offer. So utilize it. Okay? Okay. So down to client fulfillment. We had 28 new client claims last week, 39 recurring, 67 total claims, 3 correction claims, 161 recurring clients, 24 occasional clients, 10 new Google reviews. Yeah, 12 conversions, 42%. That's outstanding number. 10 Google reviews, sitting at 559 reviews. That's pretty cool. We had 5 clients leave, so $24 left. And we had all these people come in. You can see most of them were monthly, so it's kind of a bummer. This person was a weekly. That's kind of cool. But $3,100. So we ended up netting more, which is good. And then we had $2,500 fall off the schedule last week. Pretty normal. Cleaner acquisition, we spent $121 on cleaners. We had 85 applicants. We had 53 phone interviews scheduled, 52 performed. Insane. 14 Zoom interviews scheduled, 8 performed. I think 0 were technically hired. I think we did make some job offers though last week. So maybe these people just haven't accepted yet. But you guys see this right here. We had 4 cleaners who quit last week. And so Amber and Karina, they were both in training. You guys can see they both made it to Friday. They literally both made it to the very last day and they both didn't. They both quit on Friday. One girl's got her car repoed, and I actually don't know why Amber quit. Do you know why Amber quit, Katie?
To putting too many miles on our vehicle.
Oh, there you go. And then old Gear Babes here. He, yeah, super nice guy. Just wasn't getting enough hours. We weren't. He was one of our bottom cleaners, and then Maya. This was her first week of being graduated. So yeah, she's only been with the team this was her second week, and I pretty much called this one when she was at our house cleaning. I was like, yeah, this person's not gonna make it. I could just tell, and she didn't. So sometimes I'm right, and sometimes I'm wrong, and I was right about this one. But we had Latea start today, and then we have D'Angela and Kylie who are scheduled to start on Friday, and we have tons of interviews today. Like I think we have interviews scheduled 3 every single day. We had to open up another spot, so we'll definitely have a much fatter pipeline going into next week. Because right now we only have 10 active cleaners, but they all are getting good hours. So you guys can see here, 35, 33, 31, 30, 30, 30, 27, 27, 24, 22, and then old gear babes in the bottom. So you can see our top cleaners actually did pretty good. And then we only had 2 call outs last week. So clearing hours are pretty good. And then, oh, we're actually missing Amber on here, I guess, too, for her hours. So I just recognized that. Her hours went on here. And then $54 man hour rate. That's pretty standard. Correction cleans. Is this right, Katie?
It looks like they're duplicates. I don't know. Nikki, Trinka, and Daya are on there multiple times.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is you guys are seeing a brand new VA in action here. So we have a new VA who's learning to use the vision sheet, and she learns the same way that you guys' VA will learn how to use vision sheet, by making some freaking mistakes.
You know what I bet this is? I bet this is dual new virtual assistants. I bet it's one during the week and one on the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
They're both doing the task. It's getting repeated.
So we have 2 new virtual assistants. Do you guys ever watch any of the Kentucky Derby, the horse racing? Have you guys ever heard, or you guys ever watched that? So I don't watch it, but the gist of what I get from horse racing is that the horses that you guys see that are on TV, they're like their ultimate value in those horses is their sperm, right? It's that these horses produce more horses, right? It's all about the bloodlines, all about the genetics. And so I think there was a stat this year that out of the Kentucky Derby, out of all the horses that were starting the Kentucky Derby, I think all of them, but maybe one of them or 2 of them, had some famous horse's bloodline. And I forget the horse's name. If any of you guys know, you guys can put it in the chat. But there was one of the most famous horses, like it was a part of their descendant. All the horses were, right? And so I feel like we have that same concept with our virtual assistants. And so James, he's our secretariat. So James is on here right now. He's the one who lets all you guys in. He's the one who helps with the coaching business the most. And Now, James's brother, Jasper, is working on the weekends for us. So he's one of our new virtual assistants. And his girlfriend's aunt, whose name is Kareen, is now working full time for us um, inside Mesa as well. And his girlfriend was the one, or his ex-girlfriend, I guess it is now, is the one who used to work for us before that. And because she was James's ex, we had to let go of her because James is our boy. I'm just joking. That's not why we let go of her. But anyway, James, our secretariat, is that like anytime I need a virtual assistant, I'm like, James, who do you got, my friend? Because I trust you. And we always ask Jaya too. Jay is our other virtual assistant who's a freaking rock star. But James is always the one who actually has been most recently the one who has had good people to send us over. So this is a function of having new virtual assistants work on the weekends or work for us. One's on the weekend and one's during the week. And so it's part of the process. We'll send them a screenshot of this and they will learn by fixing it, not by us fixing it. So that's one of the most important things I can share with you guys too, is that you don't give your team the opportunity to learn if you fix it for them, but if you point it out to them and let them fix it, then they have a higher probability of it not happening again. So cool. And then we had some one-on-ones last week. So cool to see. So yeah, I do have a release for the free home cleaning courses community that I'm going to release here in a couple minutes. So again, I want to forget about that. But for you guys who are inside the community already, yeah, you guys use the recurring client framework we use today. Do not use what I said to you guys before. Do not disallow people to sign for recurring on the first call. Let them sign for recurring. Totally fine. And send them text messages after. If they're not signing for recurring, send them text messages, send them phone calls. Whatever you got to do, make them an offer to go on recurring. Do whatever you need to do to make them an offer. And the probability of you getting recurring clients goes up if you just allow them to say yes and make it as easy as possible. So how do we add value to our recurring client or to our clients? Make it as easy as possible for them to do business with you. And that could be text messaging. Okay. It could be signing up on the very first visit. That's your goal. Make it as easy as possible. And also make it zero risk. These are the two things that like how our business has become more valuable than most businesses here in a very competitive, very populated place is that we're willing to do what most people aren't willing to do, is we're willing to be fast, willing to put the client's experience ahead of our own experience. So like we make our lives harder by making their lives easier and taking as much risk out of the equation for them as possible, which puts more risk on us. If you guys are willing to do that in your market, you'll become very valuable in your market as well. That's the formula. That's the formula. Okay, your thoughts before I release 3 new modules inside the free home cleaning courses.
My only thoughts are release it so we can all get back to work.
Okay, do that then. Okay, there you guys go. Katie wants to go back to work. The heck. We're having fun, Katie. Trying to have fun here. I don't want to go back to work. All right, guys. So if you guys are not inside the paid coaching program, you guys are inside the free group. This is for you guys. Okay. So this is my attempt to enough money so that eventually you guys can hang out with the cool people. Not the cool people. I mean, they are cool people, but like, I'm not saying that you're not cool. You guys can hang out with the business owners who are just a little bit further along inside the paid coaching program. So one thing to be really clear on is that like, in order to be inside the paid coaching program, like it, Toby asked me this the other day, our oldest daughter, she asked about coaching. So she's 15 years old. She actually works for the cleaning company now. You guys saw her name on that sheet. Her name is Cobie. Yeah, she has obviously watched us, you know, from day one, start businesses in the gym and now grow the cleaning business. Now she's working for the cleaning business. And so she asked a little about the coaching program of like, she asked a question about it. And I can't remember exactly the question she asked off the top of my head, but I was like, Kobe, the best way to describe it, the type of coach that your mom and I are for these cleaning business owners, we're not their first coach. We're their last coach. And so what I mean by that is that like, we're not the person that you pay to get you from 0 to $10,000, $15,000 a month. That's not us. And so my goal is to help you do those things for free. And so I don't know if there's anybody else out there, which I don't necessarily care. I'm not comparing myself to other people, but like the reason that I don't charge people money for a lot of the information is because all the information is geared for you to go from 0 to 10, 15, 20. I mean, you can go further than that. But like that's the ideal when I put information out. The free information is to get somebody to go from 0 to $20,000 a month without paying a single dime for it. Because I'm not going to charge you for it. So I might as well give it to you for free. Other people will try to charge you for that, and that's totally fine. By the way, there is value. There is value in like getting a coach at 0. There really is. Katie and I just discovered like that's not our value proposition. Our value proposition is to be your last coach. We'll take you from 20, 30, 40, wherever you're at, and we'll get you to 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, $120,000 a month. Like things that you can never think of. Like we'll blow your minds on what's possible. You'll make more money. You'll take home more money in a month than you'll have made entire revenue maybe in years before. Like that's what we do. And by the way, the only way that we can do that is because we've done it ourselves first. We have done it like for years now, like not just once, but we've done it for years. And so that's why we give all the information away for free in the front end, is for the people who don't have the money right away, because you're doing less than $20,000 a month or $10,000 a month, like you don't have a lot of money. And so my recommendation is just to help you do it for free. And that way, when you get to $20,000 a month, $25,000, $30,000 a month, there's actually enough money there that you actually can pay for coaching. And then if you pay for coaching, you're doing $20,000 a month, and all of a sudden you grow your business to $40,000 a month. Like you will make a lot more money than Katie and I will. Let's just put it that way. Like I look at some of the money that our coaching clients make versus what they pay us. I'm like, you guys are getting a good deal. You guys are getting a good deal. And that's honestly why we don't have a lot of spots open, is because our cleaning businesses make us way more money than coaching does. And so that's why I haven't taken on a new client in a very long time. Katie has spots for, I think, 1 client or maybe 2 clients left. And then I've been having conversations with other people in our community who have built million-dollar businesses to see if they want to start taking on clients as well, because at this point, like, we are full. And so, yeah, that's a framework for you guys who are in the coaching program, so you guys understand, like, why does Logan give away so much free stuff? And then for you guys who are not in the coaching program, like, why does Logan give away so much free stuff? Well, this is why, because I want to help you get to a place where you actually can afford coaching if you really want to go to the last mile. If you actually want to grow a million-dollar business, like, you're gonna need some help. Like, especially between like 50, 60, $70,000 a month, like that's pretty tough. Like that's a tough number. That's a tough number to get through. But Kate and I have done it a couple times. We've helped a couple of people get through there. And then, yeah, but then getting over to the 80, 90, $100,000 a month, like, yeah, you just have different problems at that point. So anyway, if you're not inside the coaching program, this is for you, okay? So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys. And if you guys are inside the coaching program, but you're not inside the free group, you definitely can get, like, you definitely get some value inside here as well. So if you guys have to go to the classroom, you guys will see $1 million sales funnel. If I go to this edit course here, I'm going to go ahead and open this up. So the $1 million sales funnel is now open for you guys. And so this actually explains the sales funnel all the way from understanding speed to lead nurture, to the phone sales, to notes, to quoting, to scheduling, client expectations, the script, call reviews, role playing. And again, if you actually do eventually get to a place where you reach $10, $15, $20,000 a month and you want help with sales, well, here's how we can help you out, okay? But if you actually go through this, if you're not inside the coaching program, then you'll find a lot of value in here, because there's actually scripts in here. There's actually a phone sales script. There's actually a calculator to show you how to quote over the phone. I actually show you a lot of this process. So it's
You're literally giving this all away for free?
I know. I didn't want to tell you because I know you would try to stop me, so I didn't tell you that. So I didn't show you that.
Jesus.
Can't even try to stop me from giving it away, but I really wanted to. So so that is now there. Also, I updated the $1 million Facebook ads funnel too as well. And so this is really good. So again, the way that this lays out is marketing, sales, and then look at this, hiring as well. So hiring is now available as well. So you guys get access to the recruiting, or to the hiring funnel. And inside here, I'll show you how to find cleaners. Actually, we'll give you the job post. I'll show you our interview process. I'll show you our phone script, our Zoom script, the job offer script. I'll show you exactly how we onboard, training. Like, I literally just show you everything, okay? And then again, if you want help, here's how you can get help. And then this one, and I'll be honest with you, this one, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give this one away too. This one was tough, but the start pay training. So if you guys want to know how to pay your cleaners on revenue share versus paying on hourly, and the reason why you would do that is because if you want to incentivize cleaners to do a good job versus milk the clock, start pay is your answer, right? This is your answer to that. And share with you percentages. If you have to pay your cleaners miles and drive time, how you do that, how do you calculate the payroll sheet. Yeah. And so there you go.
You guys better hurry up and get in there before I change my mind.
And well, I didn't give you a chance to change your mind. That's why.
Yeah,
So if you
before I go in
guys,
there and revoke everything.
yeah, so you guys better get access to it now. Otherwise, Katie might go undo it. But if you guys are not inside, if you guys are not inside the paid coaching program, go utilize this. Go grow your businesses. And yeah, like I said, like the goal is really just to help you guys. And even if you never do coaching, like it's totally fine. Our goal is really just to help you. And yeah, we get fulfilled by just getting testimonials from people who don't even do the coaching program. I got so many messages from people who've never done the coaching program, just like thanking me for all the stuff I give away. That's enough for me to keep going. Yeah, and then the people who we do get to help, like that's just a little bit more fulfillment I get from doing those. I actually get to like see it and experience it and have evidence that it works. So, yep. If you guys haven't, go get into the free group. So James, if you haven't already, dropped the link to the group or to the free courses. And then you guys can utilize the $1 million Facebook ads, $1 million sales funnel, $1 million hiring funnel, and then using StarPay as well. So all that stuff is inside there. Yeah, that's what I was doing over the weekend, was getting that ready for you guys. I was working for free to give it away for free, so everyone here can make some more money. Thank you guys for showing up for this Road to $1 Million call today. Really appreciate it. You guys were hopping. Highly recommend showing up to the Road to 300K call on Friday. So it breaks my beliefs. And so if it breaks my beliefs, there's a high probability to break your beliefs on what is possible, like what a business can actually do, what a clean business can actually do, how many cleaners it can do, how many cleans it can do, how much money it can make, how much profit it can make. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'll share some of those numbers with you guys on Friday. Like, yeah, I just think about some of the profits that we have made were more than sometimes we made in single years. It starts really, really slow, and then sometimes it gets bigger, faster. So happy Monday, guys. Thank you guys for showing up today. Get on that call on Friday. If you're inside the community, we'll see you guys on Wednesday on the coaching call. If you're not, get on the call on Friday. Bye.